All right. You all set?
We'll start with you, Stu.
Hey, Robert, just after getting the chance to watch the film from yesterday's game, what were some of your takeaways from the offense's performance overall in such a roller coaster game?
Just good execution on just playing sound, no penalties, able to start fast, whether it was the first half, second half, bounce back from our first time being down and trailing in the game, coming back and getting back on top right away. But really just it's one of those games on the road, hostile environment. I guess they're just proud we found ways to win.
And you mentioned that bounce back. I mean, it took you guys 4 plays to answer the Colts touchdown there at the start of the fourth quarter to take the lead. And then when they hit the field goal, you guys obviously had an answer then. Just what stood out about Matthew Stafford's demeanor in the huddle, not only when you guys were trailing, but also when you guys had to answer another score again in that fourth quarter?
Yeah, it really, we just out there just playing our game, just executing. Obviously, they scored and they took the lead, but it didn't change anything on our end. It didn't add any pressure. We literally just went out there and did what we were doing all game.
Thank you.
Thanks, Stu.
Kurt.
Thanks, Stu, for stealing my question. Just kind of a follow-up on that, Robert. When you go 4 plays and 70 yards, do you feel like you kind of expand on that? Do you feel like you opened up the playbook more, because it was pretty astonishing how quick you scored? And if you just give a little bit more of that.
I think it's one of those aggressive things. I think obviously you want to manage the game, you want to manage the time, you want to be strategic in your moves. And I think just one of those times they were able to get up and then we just, opened up a little bit, get going, and we were able to execute fast and score quickly.
And just follow up, obviously, with Tampa ahead of you guys went down there last year, and won. I know it's a team, but do you take anything out of that, especially knowing they ended up winning the Super Bowl?
Last year, we were able to, we beat that team, the Super Bowl team. Obviously, this year has nothing to do with it. I expect them to come in and try to get a win. Obviously, we beat them last year, and they did win the Super Bowl. I think that is on their mind, not necessarily a redemption game, but obviously they want to come in and win and get revenge. But for us, we just know we want to come out there and play our game. We have a really good opponent. Fortunate for us, it's early. We get to test ourselves and see what it's like to go against a Super Bowl caliber team.
Thanks, Robert.
Thanks, Rick.
Lindsay.
Robert, you just touched on it. It's like you knew the question was coming, but when you're going against the defending Super Bowl champion, what kind of test is it? What kind of barometer is it for you guys to measure up and see where you're at this season already?
We just know they're sound. We know they know what it takes. Just being there last year, whether it's in the ground game and the passing game, having guys on the offensive line really checking out their defense, have a solid secondary, fast flowing linebackers, solid D-line. So it's really just players all around their offense and defensive unit. So for us to just go out there and compete, high caliber game, all 4 quarters. I know the guys are looking forward to it. I know we're all looking forward to it, just to go up and compete against the highest level.
And Robert, you obviously were a big part of the Rams Super Bowl team there during that 2018 season. I know you guys are only going into week 3, but do you get any kind of vibe or impression that you guys, that this team has the making similar to 2018 to be a Super Bowl team?
Yeah, I think so. But I think right now, a little similarities is just 1 week at a time. We know we're a good team, but we're focused on the opponent we have at hand. All focus last week was on the Colts. Right now, it's all on Tampa, doing whatever it takes to beat them. I think that's the biggest thing about this team. We know we have potential, but we're not looking ahead at all.
Thanks, Robert.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Kevin.
Hey, Robert. Speaking of the Buccaneers, again, I think a lot of people are looking forward to Matthew Stafford versus Tom Brady, even though we all understand quarterbacks don't actually play against one another on the field. In your career, have you seen that quarterbacks kind of get up for playing Brady? I mean, you've been going back to Buffalo days. It occurs to me that a lot of your quarterback teammates have had big games when they've played against Brady for some reason.
Yeah, I would say probably just to go against a good team. He's always on good teams. I don't know if it's a quarterback thing where they're trying to, impress Tom Brady or something. But from our end, I think it's just going up and get to go against a good opponent. We know they're going to have a good quarterback. We know they're going to be able to play all 4 quarters, have a fighting chance at the end. I think everybody really gets excited just to play someone really good, and then it'll be a tough challenge.
Mm-hmm. And then just quickly, what did Sony Michel bring to the game when he came in yesterday? What would he bring to the team if he has to fill in for an extended period? I ask that not knowing.
Yeah, really just excited for him when we traded for him, got him on our team. Obviously seeing him practice work a little bit, and been talking to him a little bit. But as soon as he got in the huddle, he came in, big smile. He's like, all right, like it's go time now. And really just to see his energy and excited to get back on the field and really like just finish the game for us. But really excited to see what he can do and finally get a chance to carry the ball.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin.
Nick.
Hey, Robert. Speaking of which, with the Tampa Bay Bucks, do you guys feel the energy that is surrounding this game? A lot of people feel like this could be a potential, NFC championship type of matchup later on. You kind of guys gauge it that way?
No, it's week 3. We looking at it as that. This is our 3rd opponent. Not even looking at it in the long run, whether we match up with them again. We know we got to beat them this one time. They're coming to our place, and they're on our way to get 3-0.
You talked about Sonny Michel earlier, but how much was it a lift just to have him out there? Obviously, you said you saw him practicing. He was preparing. How much was it just to have him out there just as a lift on the offensive side with Darrell Henderson going down at that time?
Yeah, seeing Darrell go down, obviously, it's tough. He's been carrying the load. He's running really well for us. Don't know his timetable or what's going on. But really just having Sonny come in, or even if it's Jake Funk, even if it's Jake Funk coming in, it really doesn't matter. We are confident in Jake, seeing him run all preseason, seeing him handle the load at practice. We don't care. I mean, we care if someone goes down, but when someone goes down and someone comes in, we're expecting it not to be a drop off, expecting them to pick right back up where that current player was carrying the load.
Thank you, Robert.
Jordan.
Hey, Robert, how's it going?
Hey, Jordan.
What I know you guys don't necessarily look ahead too much, but wondering if maybe you could look back a little bit, and as you guys started to put this thing together for the first time in the spring, even with some of that stuff being optional, all you guys showing up and really trying to put this offense together and then moving through where it is today. I'm wondering if you can recall maybe any sort of landmarks or benchmarks where you thought, all right, we got here, now it's time for the next step, and what those might have been, if so.
Just, I would say the only benchmarks probably be getting into training camp, being able to do it for real, and then getting into week 1, just getting a taste. I think right now we're still early, we're still working. Obviously we're making plays, but it's a lot of growth for us to go through to really be where we want to be. Right now it's good, it's early on, but for us to be elite, we got to connect on everything and make these elite plays.
And then this is kind of an odd question, but did you guys remind me on Monday mornings, do you guys get in as a group, as an offense with Sean and the coordinators and watch tape?
Yes, key plays, whether it's good or bad, and then we break up and then individually we watch the plays with our position coaches.
Okay, because I mean, I know that we ask a lot, like what Matthew's like when he problem solves, right? But I'm kind of wondering, because Sean made a point to call out one of his own calls yesterday, the sweep on the 3rd and 2, and said he hated it, right? So I'm wondering like what he's like when he addresses that with you guys and problem solves that in real time?
So really more so in the film is more so just as getting coached up. But honestly, on the field, I would say that Stafford sees it right away and knows it right away. He's almost, we're getting coached and we're going through it as soon as we come off the field, talking about what that look was or what that experience was for us, that receiver or at quarterback. Really, I feel like it's instant. We go out there and we have our drive. We check out the iPads, we talk about a certain coverage, a certain look, what he wants, what we expect. Go out there and let's execute the next drive.
Thanks, Robert.
Thanks, Roy.
I know it was a weird question, so I appreciate it.
Gary,
Hey, Robert, is any Rams player happier to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers than you, given what you've done the last couple seasons against them?
I mean, every year is a new year. Have had some success against Tampa, but really we're just going to this game, just going into it working. Starting on Wednesday, we'll see the game plan, see how it goes. But other than that, we're just going to execute and try to do our best to get 3-0.
And, I'm guessing all teams kind of approach that the same way. Every year's different, every team's different. But they've now seen you kind of wreck them 2 years in a row. So do you expect anything different in terms of how the attention you get in this game?
I don't know. I don't want to ask for any attention. Obviously, I mean, we try to spread the ball all the way around. We know in that game, I had a good game. Cooper had a good game, and really, we're just trying to be dynamic. Whether it's in the run game, whether it's the pass game, we don't know whose number is going to be called at what time. But obviously, I'm gonna be ready, hoping my number's called, and hopefully do those same things I had success against Tampa last time.
How would you? Oh, was I muted here?
No, I hear you.
Oh, sorry. How would you assess where the receiving core is at this point? 2 games into the season.
I think we're okay. I think we have to. Obviously, I had some drops in this past game. Van had a drop. For us, I think we need to just continue these drives and be able to make these big plays, play faster, be an open target for Stafford, whether it's down deep in the short midfield, whatever it is, just always be a constant open target for him. Obviously, he's working, delivering the ball. Our O-line's holding up, protecting very well. For us, it's just be an open target, and when that ball's thrown, just be ready to catch it.
And then finally, sorry, how do you address uncharacteristic drops like that? I mean, going into this week, how do you?
For me, I would address it, just throw it to me all the time and just keep the ball in my hands. We could address it like that. But I'm not the one calling plays. Really just go out there and just focus. We want to go out there and be ourselves, don't add any more stress. Obviously everybody's trying to make a play. But when that ball comes, just take your time, do what you've been doing, and let the game come to you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Gary.
we good? All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you guys.
Thanks, Robert.